Welcome everyone. Be'ez Hashem, we're about to begin on Daf Tes Vav Amud Aleph Bruchim Haboim, the last three lines. The Gemara continues its discussion in regards to what the Mishnah said. Does a person have to hear the words of his Kriya Shema or not? Machloikis. Our Mishnah says that according to Rabbi Yehuda, you do not have to hear the words of the Kriya Shema to be Yotzei. And according to Rabbi Yossi, if you don't hear the words of the Kriya Shema, you're not Yossi afilu b'di'evid. Says the Gemara, Tnan Hasam. The Gemara brings a Mishnah from Megillah. Hakol k'shem likrois ha-Megillah, chutz mecheresh shoita v'katan. Everybody can read the Megillah with the exception of a cheresh, somebody who is able to speak but he cannot hear, a shoita, an imbecile, and a katan, somebody who's not of age. Rabbi Yehuda machshir b'katan. Rabbi Yehuda is machshir a katan, and therefore he could read the Megillah. Man tana cheresh di'evid nami loy. Who is the one who teaches that even b'di'evid, that a cheresh who's not able to hear his own words cannot be yotzei? Omar Rav Masno, Rabbi Yossi. This is Rabbi Yossi. He's the Rabbi Yossi who says in our Mishnah that a person does not hear the words that he's saying when he says Kriya Shema, he is not yotzei. A person who reads the Kriya Shema but he does not hear those words in his own ears. Yotza diva Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda says he's yotzei. Rabbi Yossi oimer lo yotza, but Rabbi Yossi says he's not yotzei. So the suggestion is that Mishnah in Megillah is Rabbi Yossi that says even b'di'evid he's not yotzei if he doesn't hear the words that he's reading. Memai asked the Gemara, Rabbi Yossi he v'di'evid nami loy dilma Rabbi Yehuda ulechatchilahu deloy hadi'evid shapir dami. Maybe it's not Rabbi Yossi. Maybe indeed it's Rabbi Yehuda. And Rabbi Yehuda holds that lechatchila you need to hear the Megillah, but if you did not, then you are yotzei. In other words, the cheresh could be yotzei b'di'evid. Says the Gemara, Lo salka daitach. Diktani, for teachers over here, cheresh dumya de shoite v'kotan. Ma shoite v'kotan di'avad nami loy, af cheresh nami di'avad nami loy. The same way that the Mishnah puts together the cheresh with a shoite, and a shoite certainly is not going to be yotzei afilu b'di'evid. Therefore, the cheresh is not going to be yotzei even b'di'evid. The Dilma asked the Gemara, Hokedi isa. The Gemara is now suggesting maybe the Mishnah can be made into two different dinim. According to the Mishnah, the shoite is not yotzei afilu b'di'evid, but the cheresh would be yotzei b'di'evid. The Gemara now says, "Mi matzis le'ukma k'Rabbi Yehuda." Now the Gemara challenges what it just suggested. Who can say that truly this is Rabbi Yehuda in the Mishnah in Megillah? V'ha mediktani seifa. After all, it says in the very Mishnah, at the end of the Mishnah, the Seifa, Rabbi Yehuda machshir bekotan. He is machshir kotan. Michlal, it follows, the Reisha lav Rabbi Yehuda he. It follows that the Reisha must not be Rabbi Yehuda, because Rabbi Yehuda is arguing, l'chara, on the Reisha, on the Tanakama. Now the Gemara says, no, v'dilma, perhaps kula Rabbi Yehuda. The whole Mishnah is Rabbi Yehuda. We just said that Rabbi Yehuda is machshir kotan. V'trei gavnei cotton, and there are two types of cotton. V'chisure machzera, and the Mishnah is missing words. You have to add the following to understand the Mishnah. V'hachi ketani, and this is how you have to learn the Mishnah. Hakol kishem likros ha-Megillah. Everybody is kosher to read the Megillah. Chutz mecheresh shote v'katan, with the exception of a cheresh shote v'katan. That's what is stated, what we have here. Now the Gemara adds, Bamed devorim amurim. When is this so? Bekatan shelo higia lechinuch. By a katan who's so young, he hasn't even got to the stage of chinuch, where he's obligated also medin chinuch to hear the Megillah. Aval katan shegia lechinuch, but a katan who is able to listen to the Megillah from the beginning to the end, he's of age. Afilu lechatchila kosher. Even lechatchila, he is kosher to read the Megillah. Div Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda machshir bekotan. For Rabbi Yehuda is machshir a kotan. That's the reading now of our Mishnah, and therefore we can proposed at least that the Mishnah is Rabbi Yehuda. And he says by a katan who is of age to hear the Megillah because he is a bar chinuch, that katan can hear the Megillah. He can also motzi others. B'mai ukimta. Now the Gemara challenges. Ki Rabbi Yehuda, you want to suggest that this Mishnah in Megillah is Rabbi Yehuda? Udi eved in lechatchila loy. That means that only b'di eved is he is yotzei. Ask the Gemara, Eloho detani Rabbi Yehuda b'reid Rabbi Shimon ben Pazi. That which is taught by the Amora, Rabbi Yehuda, in the son of Rabbi Shimon ben Pazi, he teaches the following. Cheresh hamedaber ve'eino shomeya torem lechatchila. He says that a cheresh who cannot hear the bracha that he's saying on the truma can lechatchila be torem. Mani, ask the Gemara, who is this statement going according to? Because after all, it is an Amor. He has to go follow one of the Tanoim. Lo Rabbi Yehuda, velo Rabbi Yosi. According to the way we just explained Rabbi Yehuda, it's not like him and it's not like Rabbi Yosi. I Rabbi Yehuda di avid in lechatchila lo. Because if it's according to Rabbi Yehuda, that won't work because Rabbi Yehuda says b'di evid he's yotzei. But lechatchila, he's not allowed to be torem. He's not allowed to then be torem without being able to hear his bracha. Only b'di evid he's yotzei. I Rabbi Yosi di evid nami loy. If it's according to Rabbi Yosi, he's not even yotzei b'di evid. Elamai Rabbi Yehuda va'afilu lechatchila nami. Rather, we must say at this point and suggest that it's Rabbi Yehuda. And Rabbi Yehuda holds differently than we thought before. Rabbi Yehuda holds that lichatchila, you can go ahead and hear the Kriya Shema and also hear the Megillah, even lichatchila, if you're not going to then hear your words. And therefore he is like this statement that a person can lichatchila, who is a cheresh, be torem, even without hearing his own bracha. Now ask the Gemara from the following brisa. If that's so, then we have a problem. Lo yivarech, the brisa says, Odam birkas hamazon belibo, v'im beirach yatsa. Here the brisa says, by birkas hamazon, a person who will not be able to hear his own words shall not say birkas hamazon. But b'di'ev, if he did say it, he is yatsa. Says the Gemara, according to what we just suggested now. Mani, who is the author of this brisa? Lo Rabbi Yehuda, v'lo Rabbi Yosi. It's not Rabbi Yehuda, not Rabbi Yosi. The Gemara speaks it out. I Rabbi Yehuda, ha'omar afilu lechatchila nami. According to what we just said, Rabbi Yehuda says, even lechatchila, you would be able to say birkas hamazon, not being able to hear your own words. V'i Rabbi Yosi, and if it's Rabbi Yosi, ha'omar afilu di'avad nami lo. Even b'di'avad, you're not yotzei. Says the Gemara, La'olam Rabbi Yehudahi. Really, it is Rabbi Yehuda. And he's saying this, Va'afilu lechatchila nami. He holds, and the sheet of Rabbi Yehuda we're suggesting at this point, is that even lechatchila, you can say, Birkas HaMazon, for example, even not being able to hear your own words. V'lo kasha, and it's not a contradiction to the other statements that we made before. Why? Because even though we had a statement that when it comes to Birkas HaMazon, you have to be able to hear your own words, and if you didn't, only b'di'evid your yotzei, it's not a kasha. Hodidei, hodirabbei. One opinion is according to his own shita, and the other one is according to the shita of his Rebbe. His own shita is that even lechatchila you can say, even if you're not going to be able to hear your own words. It's his Rebbe who holds that lechatchila you must be able to hear your own words, and if not, then you'll be yotzei b'di'evid. The Tanya, as it says in the following brisa, Om Rabbi Yehuda Mishum Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, his Rebbe, Hakore es Shema Tzorich Sheyashmi'a La'oznoi Shneimar Shema Yisrael. His Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah holds that lechatchila you must be able to hear your own words when you say Kriya Shema. But if you didn't, then b'di'evid you be yotzei. On that there's a machloikis. Omar lo Rabbi Meir Harehu Oimer Asher anoichi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha. It says in the Kriya Shema the words Asher anoichi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha. Achar kavonas halev Hein advarim. The ikar is the kavanas halev, and therefore Rabbi Meir holds that even lechatchila you can say Kriya Shema without hearing your words. Says the Gemara, Hashta the osis lahori. Once you now introduce this new opinion, this new Tana of Rabbi Meir that says you can say the Kriya Shema afilu lechatchila without hearing your own words, then we can now suggest that he's the one who said before that a person who's Torem, without being able to hear his own bracha because he's a cheresh, lechatchila can do so. Says the Gemara. Afilu tema Rabbi Yehuda k'Rabbi Yisrael. And now I can say that Rabbi Yehuda is like his own Rebbe. That lechatchila you have to be able to hear your own words. But if you did not, b'di eved your yotzei. V'lo kasha. And now we can then explain what seemed to be a contradiction. Ha Rabbi Yehuda, ha Rabbi Meir. This is Rabbi Yehuda, and this is Rabbi Meir. And therefore, it comes out that we have three shitas. We'll introduce those shitas as follows. One shita is that you have to then hear your own words. And if you didn't hear your own words, afilu b'di eved you're not yotze. That's Rabbi Yossi. The other one says that you have to hear your own words, but if you didn't, b'di eved, you are yotze. And that is Rabbi Yehuda and his Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. And then we have the sheet of Rabbi Meir now that says that even lechatchila you can read without hearing your own words. Says the Gemara weiter, what is the halacha? Rav Chizda, Rav Yishila, halacha ki Rabbi Yehuda. The halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda, she'omar mishum Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, like who said in his name of his Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. The halacha ki Rabbi Yehuda, and the halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda. Now we know that's the same shita l'chara. Ask the Gemara, so then why is it that we have to say both things? Vitzricha. The Gemara answers we need both of them. Because if we only heard and said that the halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda, just like that, Hava Amina, I might think to say afilu lechatchila, that this is the shita of Rabbi Yehuda holds lechatchila you can then say without hearing your own words. Kamash Malan halach Rabbi Yehuda she'omar mishum Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Therefore, it comes to teach us the halach like Rabbi Yehuda in the name of his Rebbe, which means that you can say lechatchila you must be able to hear your words. However, if you did not, b'di eved you are yotzei. V'i ashma in halach Rabbi Yehuda she'omar b'shum Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. And then if we said the halach is like Rabbi Yehuda in the name of his Rebbe, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, then hava amina tzarich ve'en lo takana. Then we might think that you have to hear the words that you're saying, and there's no takana if you didn't. Because the lashon of Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah is hakara shma tzarich she'ashmiya la'oznoi. So there we might think it's bedavka, you must hear your words. Therefore, kamashman halacha ki Rabbi Yehuda, we say the halacha like Rabbi Yehuda, that even if you did not hear your own words, b'di'evid you are yotzei. And it comes out that this is really one shita. Again, to be able to hear your own words, lechatchila, but if you did not, you are yotzei. Says the Gemara, Omar Rav Yosef. Rav Yosef suggests the following: Machlokes b'Kriya Shema, aval b'shar mitzvos, divrei hakol lo yotza. Rav Yosef suggests that the machlokes is in Kriya Shema, but in every other mitzvah there is no machlokes. Everybody holds you must hear the words that you are saying, and if not, you are yotzei. For example, in Birkas HaMazon, if you do not hear the words that you are expressing in Birkas HaMazon, then you are not yotzei. Dirshu, as it says, Haskes ushma Yisrael. The pasuk says, pay attention and listen, Yisrael. And the suggestion is that's going on all mitzvahs. In fact, the Gemara Meisvei, lo yivarech adam Birkas HaMazon beliboy. V'im beirach yatsa. But it says in the Brisa that you shall not say Birkas HaMazon lechatchila if you're not going to hear your own words. But b'di'eved, if you did not hear your words, you're yotzei. Elo, you must say that i'itmar hachi itmar. This is what he was saying. Omer Rav Yosef machlokes b'Kriya Shema d'chsi Shema Yisrael. The machlokes is only in Kriya Shema how you learn the word Shema Yisrael. Aval b'shar mitzvahs. But in other mitzvahs, divrei hakol yotza. Everybody would agree, if you do not hear your own words, then you are yotzei. Ask the Gemara, Vehaksiv haskes ushma Yisrael. But the pasuk says, pay attention and listen, Yisrael. Mashma, that's going even on other mitzvahs. Says the Gemara, no, hahu, those words of haskes ushma b'divrei Torah kesiv. It's referring to divrei Torah. Like the Gemara says at the end of the Masechta on Daf Samach Gimel Amud Beis, that it's a drasha the Gemara makes. One of the drashas it makes over there is that haskes ushma Yisrael. It's a play on the words haskes. Haskes is ha and case. Ha is referring to asay, you shall do, and kos means that it should be with a kesisa. Kesisa means that it should be with pounding or crushing. That means that the divrei Torah that you learn must be sometimes learned with being crushed. That's how much you have to work hard to understand the Torah. Says the Gemara, Tani, Omar Rabbi. The Gemara now brings the quotation of the second machlokes in our Mishnah. When a person expresses the words of Kriya Shema and he does not do so clearly, he does not enunciate the words clearly. So according to the Tanakama, which is indeed Rabbi Yosi, so you are Yotzei b'di Eved, and according to Rabbi Yud, you're not Yotzei afilu b'di Eved. Says the Gemara, quoting the Mishnah, Omer Rav Tavi, Omer Rav Yoshaya, halacha k'divrei shneim lahokil. The halacha is like both opinions that are mekil in the first machlokes as well as the second machlokes. Like the first machlokes, if you don't hear the words that you're saying, you are yotzei b'di eved. The halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda. And in the second machlokes, that if you do not enunciate the words clearly in the Kriya Shema, b'di eved, you are yotzei like Rabbi Yosi. V'omer Rav Tavi, Omer Rav Yoshaya. The same Rav Tavi in the name of Rav Yoshaya says the following, which has nothing to do with our subject of Kriya Shema, but he explains a different verse. My dirsi, what's meant by the pasuk when it says Sholosh Heina Lo Sisbana? There are three that are not satisfied. Sheol, the kever, the place of burial, the oitzer rocham, and the rechem, and the pasuk goes on to say the land. Now it says over there that these three things are never satisfied. The kever is never satisfied. You can always bury more dead into the kever. The rechem is never satisfied with tashmish hamita. And also the eretz, the land, is never satisfied. It always needs more rain, more water. So the Gemara asks over here, what is the inyan of the kever that's juxtaposed, that is samuch to the inyan of rechem in the pasuk? Eloloi malach, to teach you. Ma rechem machnis umoitzi, just as a rechem brings in the zera, the seed, and is moitzi a vlad, a child. Af sheol machnis umoitzi. So too, the kever brings in the dead body and is moitzi that body in the time of tchias hamesim. V'halo dvarim kal v'chomer, and he goes now adds it a kal v'chomer. Uma rechem shemachnisim boi bechashai. Just as a rechem, when it brings in the zera, it does so in a quiet fashion. Moitzin mimenu bekolei kolos. And yet, when it takes out the vlad, the child, it's with kolei kolos of simcha, all types of voices of joy, of celebration. Sheol, the kever, shemachnisim bo bekolei kolos, which brings in the dead with all types of bechia, crying and hesped. Eino din shemotzi mimenu bekolei kolos. Then certainly, when it takes out the dead body in the time of tchias mesim, there will be kolei kolos. There will be the tekiah shofar gadol that's going to then have a tremendous sound when the time of Tchias HaMesim comes. Mikan, says the Gemara, from here we learn, Teshuva lo'oimrim ein Tchias HaMesim mator. From here we see an answer to those who deny that Tchias HaMesim is coming from a merumaz, is hinted to from the Torah. Says the Gemara weiter. The Gemara now darshans the words in the Kriya Shema. One of the words is uksavtam. Says the Gemara, Tani Raboshaya Kamei de Rava. Uksavtam hakol biksav. Afilu tzavois. The Gemara darshans the word uksavtam into two different parts. Uksavtam is uvekasav tam, and it'll be written complete. Tam is complete, like sholem. Hakol biksav, everything that's included in the mezuzos and in the tefillin will be written in those mezuzah and tefillin in the Kriya Shema. Afilu tzavos, even those commands that says ukshartem lios al yadecha v'hoyu l'totafos beinenecha, and the command uksavtem al mezuzos beisecha uvisharecha, they will also be written in the parchments in the mezuzah and in the tefillin, although they are not the essential parts of the contents of the mezuzah and the tefillin. Omar lei, the Omar loch mani, if he will say to you, who is the one who taught this? Rabbi Yehudahi. Tell him it is Rabbi Yehuda. The Omar gabe soita, who says gabe soita. The sota woman drinks water, and there's a parchment inside of that water which gets erased. And it says over there, alois koisev tzavois eno koisev. It is the curses that are written in that parchment, and not the commands that are written in the parchment. Says the Gemara, V'hasam hu dichsiv v'kosav es ha'olos ha'ele, and you shall write these olos, these curses. Aval hocha dichsiv uchsavtem, but here is written uchsavtem. Afilu tzavos nami. In other words, the Gemara challenges over here and says that over there by soita it's written v'kosav es ha'olos. But over here it's written v'chazavtem. Over here meaning to say v'ksavtem is two parts, v'kosav and tam. And therefore, says the Gemara, Atu Taimid Rabbi Yehuda Mishum Dechsiv v'kosav. The Gemara challenged and says, is it because it says v'kosav in regards to soita that you say that Rabbi Yehuda must be the one who holds over here v'chsav tam? It's a different type of reading. It says v'chsav tam to darshan v'ksav tam, to include the tzavos. Taimid Rabbi Yehuda Mishum Dechsiv olos. The reason why Rabbi Yehuda said over there that only the olos are included and not the tzavos is because it says olos. Olos in, tzavos lo. And therefore itztrich. Says the Gemara, salkedaitoch, you do need, because neilof ksiva mehasam, that you might think to learn a gzeir shava of ksiva from soita to the area of Kriya Shema, of tefillin and mezuzos. Mahasam olos in tzavos lo, just like over there in the soita, we include the olos, but we do not include the commands. The tzavos, af hochanami tzavos lo. You might think to say that even here, in regards to the mezuzos and the tefillin, also you do not include the tzavos, the commands. Says the Gemara, therefore, kasev rachman uchsavtem. Afilu tzavos. Therefore, it's written uchsav tam, and we darshan it because of tam. Write it complete, including the tzavos, including the commands. Now the Gemara darshans another pasuk, another word in the Kriya Shema. Let's stop over here. Be'ez Hashem.